Our goal with this book is to provide leaders with a logical and duplicable process so that anyone who wants to become an effective school leader has a roadmap for success. We begin by exploring what we know about good leadership. Leadership as a skill. Leadership represents the ability to use influence to improve organizational productivity. Leadership is not a position. It is a set of actions that positively shape the climate and culture of the working environment. In essence, leadership is a verb, not a noun. We know a good leader is present when those whom he or she influences have become more effective and productive at their given task because of the impact of the leader. Consider this. Most would agree that a reading teacher lacks effectiveness if his or her students don't improve their reading skills after being exposed to the practices and influence of a reading teacher. Wouldn't the same standard apply to a school or district leader? He or she is not a successful leader if those he or she leads do not succeed. For this reason, isolating and evaluating individual teachers as the sole indicator for school progress, using their students' test scores to determine success or failure, is doomed to fail as a public policy and school improvement method. The teacher does not work on an island. The teacher is a product of his or her leaders, just as the teacher influences a student. In fact, no one truly works in isolation. Educators are a part of an intricate web, each contributing to the success or failure of their system. All educators are leaders, yet they all need leadership. The question each educator should ask becomes, what responsibility do I have for influencing and improving those I have to guide? In a school, productivity is measured in terms of this influence and improvement in both student learning and personal growth. Productive schools shape the future in positive ways. Education is a high-stakes business, not because of a ranking or accountability rating given by a state or government agency, but because educators only get 13 years to help shape the future of young human beings. This shaping process requires profound care and skill. This makes school leadership one of the most critical positions in a progressive society. Too often, people assume that because someone has shown promise or experienced success in a particular area, he or she has the ability to guide others to that same level of greatness. This is simply an inaccurate assumption. Andrew Munro, 2005, warns, wrapping up attributes, behaviors, tasks, and outcomes into a package of competency dimensions might seem an economical way of summarizing leadership and management requirements, but by bundling cause and consequence, there is a risk of confusing who is currently effective, displaying the achievement of outcomes, from who might be effective in the future, evidence of those attributes predictive of outcomes. Schools cannot ensure effective school leadership by simply promoting a good teacher to the role of principal or promoting a good principal to the role of superintendent. The skills required to lead other people differ from those personal and professional skills required to perform other tasks. In 2002, the National Association of Secondary School Principals, NASSP, reported that by 2012, 40% of United States principals would retire, and qualified candidates would not replace most of them. We are now years beyond that stark warning. The NASSP report also notes that few school districts have structured recruitment programs that systematically seek out the best principal candidates or implement training programs that grow future leaders. Unfortunately, the crisis predicted in 2002 was even worse than anticipated. In a stunning report titled Churn, the High Cost of Principal Turnover, the School Leaders Network 2014 confirms that 25% of principals leave their post each year and 50% leave after 3 years. That same report also highlights the impact that principal turnover and effectiveness have on students. It concludes that a 10% drop in principal turnover in high-poverty communities, coupled with district investment in principal effectiveness, would translate to an increase of $30,024.07 in lifetime earnings for students enrolled in those schools. School Leaders Network 2014. Therefore, it is imperative that school systems recruit and